Hello and welcome to yet another brilliant episode of Podcast by Buddha. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for all the suggestions, questions, and your lovely feedback that we're getting. That keeps us going. Thank you so much once again for taking time and being here with us. Now, this episode, as I say, is slightly different. We definitely have a guest, but it's not like the guest that you've seen on our podcast before. This special guest shares the same passion, I would say same profession as well to an extent. Now, Rumi is here with us and she runs a day boarding for animals. Now, this is the only thing that I would like to say about it. Rest, let's hear from Rumi. Welcome, Rumi.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, taking time out, and spending this, precious conversation with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Before we go ahead with questions about your profession, rather, I would say your passion, which turned into a profession, I would love to know a little bit about you, as in a little about your background. What brought you to UAE? How did it all start?
So, I'm a very simple person. Didn't work till I was 40 years old. And I followed my husband and my two daughters from India to Egypt, Cairo, and then we came to Dubai.
Oh, okay.
So the Romi's Home Pet Nursery, which is it's almost 8+ years old now. It was not a business that I started. It came from a sheer compulsion, I would say. It was a requirement that created the business.
Okay.
So we came to Dubai in 2008, and I grew up with dogs all my life.
Perfect. Mhm.
So that was a very natural thing in me. So I had Chloe, who is 11 years now,
Wow.
in 2013. And after that, I discovered the first time we tried to travel, and we discovered that it's not working. We found out a good kennel, very good kennel actually, and no fault of the kennel. But normally, in a kennel schedule, the dogs stay in their own room during the night time, which is probably from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. or 6 p.m. till 6, something like that, around, I would say, average 10 to 12 hours. And we started in a proper way. We found out, we did the research for the kennel, and Chloe started going there for the daycare, etc. All good. But the moment we traveled, the first night it was okay. The second night, then the morning, I got a call that she was extremely stressed. She cried, she hauled, she dug the floor up, the solid floor up. She was 7 months old. She dug the floor up, and she dug it so bad, her nails all broken, blood everywhere, and even the glass door was almost going to fall on her. So I came back, and we understood that it's this typical kennel setup environment is not going to suit her.
Yeah.
So then I was not traveling, and we started training. I didn't know Buddha at that point of time. So I started training with another trainer over here, and the trainer was training me. That's how it works, more than her. So I was getting trained, Chloe was getting trained, I was not traveling. My friends, they started keeping their dogs with me. They said that you keep our dog with you because, I mean, why? I mean, it's good. I said, why not? I said, okay, fine. And it was nothing like a business. Very close friend circle. In 2015, it's summer, I had 16 dogs in my home.
Wow.
And Chloe. So from there, things started going in a different way. So when I hired my first helper guy, then my husband told me that, Romy, now you need to think about a business. It's not so. Then we went for the license. We started from JVT where we are staying. So from there we started, and then in 2019 it grew to a point where It was not possible there, so we shifted to a proper place in DIP 1, which is current now is Romi's Home Pet Nursery, and we have a second branch, which is now 2 years in Rachel Khor, which is a smaller one. And from me single-handedly handling my dogs, starting from their cleaning, brushing, teeth brushing, picking them up, dropping them. Now we are member of 36 members of team. And another thing is, I'm extremely proud of my team. They grew with me and the business grew with them. So we have people who are working for me for 8 years. They are still with me, like the supervisors, they grew from and like that. And then the first dog who paid me, like proper
Like the business transaction for
business
the first time.
transaction, the family is still with me, the dog is still coming.
That's so sweet.
And the first 10 dogs, I can tell you the names who are still with me. Some of them traveled out of Dubai, which is like normal thing in Dubai, but who are in Dubai, they are still coming with us. The dogs who are coming to us for 7, 8, 9 years, many of the dogs are senior now, like Chloe. Chloe is going to be 11 years in December. So we have many senior dogs now who are still coming to us. So right now we have actually developed a completely separate section for our senior dogs. Okay. So their place to stay is separate, their exercise routine, etc., is separate. We now trained two of our guys by the vet because dogs have got even diabetes. Yeah. So insulin test, injection giving. Then many dogs are in a very complicated medical condition. So for their medication, etc. Then seizure, dogs are epileptic as well. So all of this we trained two of our guys. So for them, we have developed a separate section as
Wow.
well.
One thing that I picked up from your initial few lines is the first time that you experienced leaving a pet is kind of getting difficult. What you said was you stopped traveling.
I stopped completely. I stopped traveling.
So that means this little incident or this little episode did have a very big impact on your
Yeah,
personal life, I would
of
say.
course, of course. So I have two daughters. They are big now. So it was a situation like wherever I'm going to pick them up from school. Chloe is at the back of my car. Going to drop them. Chloe is at the back of my car. Someone has to be there. So that is the reason I will be very happy to tell you that we are the first one who introduced the crate free or the crate free stay in a boarding facility. So our dogs are never locked in a particular room or in a cage or crate, nothing. So we separate our dogs depending on their sizes, but they are 24/7. So there are four different sizes: tiny, small, medium, and large. And we have a proper morning team and a proper night team. Okay. So round the clock they are with the human people are with the dog. Okay. And they live in a pack, which is a very natural
Environment
tendency
kind of a thing.
for
Yeah,
them
yeah,
to
yeah.
stay in a pack. So each group stay in a pack morning, evening. Their feeding time, exercise time, sleeping time, everything is planned in a way that it's more to the way they live in home, and they're more natural thing that can they have in their life. So the stress level is much low, because the dogs are with us for thousands of years. Yeah. And they have developed many kind of things. One of them is if they have I'm talking about the domestic dogs. Okay. Yeah. So when there's a human there, and if their friends are there, then the stress level is much less. I would say almost not there anymore, because I mean, gene talks at the end of the day, and in wild, neither the pack leaves the dog nor the dog leaves the pack. Correct. So when they live in a pack, they're much more stress free. We have dogs staying with us for months. We hardly have any problems.
Right. Now, your friends started bringing their dogs and their
Correct.
animals to your place.
Correct.
And which was at a time when you did not even have that thing as a business
No,
running.
no, 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 no,
So
no, not at all.
what got into their head, or how did they think about leaving their pets with you?
Here comes the training, because I was getting trained. So that, and Chloe was getting trained. So that is the reason that dogs, when they are going home, they started behaving better.
Oh, sweet.
So
Okay.
that's why from one to another, another to another, all of these things started. All it just word of mouth, and it was never. It was I never had a investor on anything. It very organically grown business. So the business itself generated its own money.
Funding its
So
own self.
funding its own self. So I had one guy helping me, then another one, then another one. I used to pick up dogs. My husband was a huge help, huge support. My husband and my daughters, if they were not at the, I mean, tolerating 17 dogs
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah. It's
home
not
is
an
not an
easy
easy
task. Yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah.
I remember my daughters, even I had a very emergency thing with my dad. I traveled to India, and my elder one, younger one, they were having exam, then they were taking care of my dogs because I had to travel. So I had a big support from my family. So that was a big thing, but the business happened.
Wow.
It's like the universe planned and happened, and I am extremely grateful to Chloe, because I think
It's because of her
because of her,
that we are able to talk to you on a podcast today.
nothing, absolutely,
That's
nothing
amazing.
else I can tell you. So I'm extremely, she had a purpose
Ah, yes.
when she came in my
Into your life,
life. Yeah.
yes. And you said that you've been doing this as a business for close to 8 years now.
Yeah.
Within this 8 year span, when and how did you happen to meet Buddha?
Long time back, Balram. When? Like 15
Yeah, almost 10,
to
15. When you're
2015?
shifting from to the new facility, basically we were the
Before
people.
that,
Yeah, we started interacting before that.
because you were working with a rescue organization
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was fostering the dog.
Oh, okay.
So that was Jerry, if you remember.
yeah, yeah.
So Jerry was a very crazy dog, was rescued, and the lady who is now Jerry's mom, Jerry still come to me. So whenever Valeria is traveling, and Jerry was difficult. So Balram was working on Jerry, and that was the first time I got introduced to Balram.
Great. Buddha, coming back to your side of the story, that you deal, or rather, I always call you that you're a doctor on call for animals. I'm sure you're getting enough and more phone calls, or cases that you need to attend. Now, at that kind of a scenario in your business, when you meet a person who shares the same passion and does a part of your business work as well, so what was the first line of thought that crossed your mind?
Uh, See, first I met Romy in a very neutral environment because I was looking for something because this dog Jerry was rescued from the desert or something, and he was kept at a vet where he actually started snapping and attacking the staff and everything. So the vet could not keep him, and they wanted him out. So then I was called in at that time. I was closely working with a lot of rescue agencies at that time. So one of the rescue agencies approached me to help them with this dog. So I needed a place where I could keep this dog and work with the dog and train. That's the time I initially contacted, or through some friends or connections, that there's a person like this. So it was a very kind of it was just a fate or a destiny that we met. But once I met her, we had a lot of things in common, like her passion towards the animal. Her passion became the profession. Same story, same path which is I was walking. So we kind of connected in a lot of levels. And yes, initially we were kind of very closely connected in terms of work and business and all that. Still the friendship stays. Yeah, it's like been now, I went 10, 15 years, I don't know, 2015 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say that hats off to this friendship, because if I look at it holistically, you both are actually doing a similar kind of work.
Part competitors. Yeah.
Yes. So that kind of makes you competition. But this competition is, I think, superseded or overpowered by the love and passion that you have for animals. Like you, with your facility, obviously would have a glass ceiling, a limitation that how many pets, you can board. So, has it ever happened that, you have a case of boarding an animal which you have happily handed over to Romy?
Definitely, multiple
Really?
times, and vice versa also. See, what I would see, as I say, even in all my wherever I have spoken or something, I don't say that I'm the only trainer over here. There's a lot of people who are good. There's a lot of trainers. There's a lot of facilities. What I feel common between both of us, we are not selfish. There is business for everybody. You just kind of, you don't need to cut throat or undermine somebody to get your business.
And I think just to add to that, more than the business aspect of it, as I could speak to both of you and understand that, business for you is like priority number 2 or 3 rather.
Yeah.
The number 1 priority is the care, the love, the passion. And then if it's, as you rightly said, if it's funding the business, that's an additional check. So with, I think your priority 1, 2, and 3, that's where this happy bonding of a part competition or a part competitor business happens.
To be honest with you, I am friends with couple of other people also who are directly my competition.
Okay.
But there is no animosity, nothing. It's like we work together. There are I mean, we are really good friends. We go and have lunch, and we talk to each other because there are enough dogs for everyone. If you are doing a good job, then definitely the people will come to you. So so it's not that competition always means then you have to fight with
Oh,
each
yeah.
other and will
Snatch
start.
the other person's
No, no,
business
no,
or
no.
something.
I,
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
me and Balram also. I mean, you need a very positive energy around dogs, and I think we are inborn positive-minded person. So we bond with positive people, and I think that's how the dogs around us are happy as well.
See, I'll share my take on this. I kind of repeat this line all the time. See, if somebody comes and tells me that I have knowledge about about a certain aspect or certain field, I would be ready to kind of listen to that person, share the person. But if somebody comes and tells me I am the only person who has the knowledge about that stuff, sorry, that person I would like immediately kind of I start losing interest, because see, it's this is so vast. Every day we learn new stuff,
That's the
right?
thing I was just going to
Yeah.
add. That every day, like when I started, for me, with God's grace, what happened is I grew slowly. One dog, two dog, three dog. It's not like I opened a business and there was a huge pressure on me. I have to generate some money. Nothing like that happened. So as days went, I did mistakes. I saw that, heard that, this happened, that happened, and I also educated myself. I got contacted with Balram, so the dog's attitude, and some couple of other trainers as well, working with rescue organizations as well. I started interacting to couple of vets, so they also taught me how to do that, how to do things. Uh, Started training my boys, so you get knowledge every day, and the dogs teach you. I mean, I am talking about dogs because I deal with only dogs for now. Even I am sure other animals it's the same thing. They teach you every day, and every day you will see like I didn't know this yesterday. I know this now. Yeah, no. It's a ongoing process as always. I will give you one incident. I have now a 6 months old also. She is the new sister of Chloe. That's Devi. Her name is Devi. So one of my friend was giving her up, and I said, let's try. So Balram went to my house couple of days back, and I started seeing couple of symptoms. Like I got Devi when she was 4 months old. Then time like 2 months, and then I was started seeing the symptoms, which is if I was calling her before, she will come directly. Now she started like challenging little bit, like should I come, should I not come. She was running away. Then she started barking towards thing with the passing the gardens. She will go and bark. I will call her. She will not come. So I was seeing these things, but I couldn't point out that what is happening and what is causing this. So I just nothing to do with Devi or Chloe. I just didn't see Balaram for a long time. So I call her, come over, let's have a tea. So he came and we were sitting in the garden and Chloe was sitting there. Devi was roaming around. And Balaram said that instantly, I mean, there comes the professional thing and the experience. Balaram said, Romy, this is not good. I said, what is not good? He said that this is Chloe. She's sitting here. That's the sign of a family dog. And Devi is exploring there. That's a sign of a wild dog. So the dog, either they follow their genes, which is wild,
Or the pattern.
or you.
Yeah, okay.
So either she is following me or she will follow. So if I cannot make her follow me, then she will follow the becoming wild,
Yes.
will start challenging me, etc. And especially the changes starts happening from 6-7 months onward as they start reaching the puberty.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And he told me that do a simple thing, put a leash on and just make her sit beside you. I'm telling you, it worked like a magic, honestly.
Wow.
I did that, started doing that. Like I put the leash on, I started putting her beside me when I was in the garden, even in the house also. All those symptoms are gone now. Now I don't need the leash. So she's sitting beside me when I'm in the garden.
Wow.
So and those going there and barking at other people or dogs going, it stopped. So like everything is so much connected, and it worked like a Buddha magic.
Wow. See again, I think we should change the name of this podcast. Buddha magic by Buddha. But yeah, as in, see, I think again, after I hear the experience, it's a good hand and glove kind of a relationship between you being your core is more of taming and training an animal, and then comes another business or another passionate person who's all about boarding the animal. So it actually can work, and it is working, I think. But my question to you is it always like when you train an animal, do you board them, or do you have to board them to train them at your facility? Is it a mandate?
No, 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 not exactly. So, see, as I said, the thing is, my success is not the animal behaving with me. Okay. Animals are the easiest part. If I bring any animal over here, they start functioning with me and my team very fast. But my success is the animal working with the family, the client which is there in their environment.
Because
Okay.
finally the pet has to go back home.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So the whole approach is to basically go to the dog's natural environment, that is their house, and guide the whole pack, that is including the family, to bring that balance. Now, just coming for the example what Romy gave me, see, when I went to her over the conversation, she mentioned to me that now she's like a little bit, she comes when she wants to. Sometimes she said does not come. She has started barking at the fence of people passing by. So that is the end result. The most of the time, most of the technique fail is that the people try to address this incident, because that is not your problem. The problem is more on a basic level, where the dog is going on a wild side. Okay, the dog will follow. A dog will always follow either their instincts or they will follow you. You need to decide what direction you want to go. And the mistake what happens is, you get a pet or a dog right now, you let them be free. At the entire phase where the animal is growing, the animal is following his own instincts. When the animal becomes big, that's the time you want, oh, my dog is not listening. No dog listens, no dog understands. Dogs follow. Now, what they follow is depend upon the work you put in.
And what the dog is seeing, that's
Yeah.
what they will follow.
Yeah.
As in, I remember in one of the episodes you mentioned that a dog always follows patterns.
Yeah.
If you don't teach them a new pattern, they will follow the pattern which is genetically inbuilt in them. So it's what the dog is seeing, it will understand that this is the pattern that's in my life
When
now.
a puppy is growing, you let him run around the house. And you start chasing the puppy around, running behind the house, right behind the puppy. Then when the puppy grows up, you cannot expect the dog to follow you, because entire growth phase, he has a humans follow me.
Oh yeah. That's a
Then when the
pattern,
dog
yeah.
grows up into a 30-kilo animal, that's, oh, this dog is not following me. Buddha, the dog is not listening. The biggest mistake a human can do is expect the dog to listen. Dog doesn't listen, they follow.
This is such a basic thing that
Basic, yeah.
you hear every pet owner, I would say, to say. But what you said in such simple words is obviously the dog is not supposed to listen to you.
Yep.
It is so simple, but it's hard for me as an outsider to even think and conceive of this notion that, oh yeah, actually, why would a dog listen to you? It's a dog.
The simple thing that day when Balram, when the human understanding is so different than them. So let's say these two dogs, one is 11 years old and another one is 6 months, 6.5 months old. They are all sitting here, correct? Peacefully, nicely, not troubling anybody. Now, this is actually they are doing a job here, which he told me that give her a job. Her job is to sit beside you. So, in a human way, if I'm sitting here, I think like I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting. But here,
It's a
she's
job.
doing a job.
It's
Her
assigned
job,
to them. Yeah.
her job is to sit beside me. So he's now doing a task, like fulfilling her task which she has been given. We
Perfect.
don't think in that way.
Yes. And that's why we need magical people.
Correct. Absolutely. You need professionals there.
Of course. One thing I would want to ask you, because your core is boarding animals.
Yeah.
Uh, correct me if I'm wrong. I have heard a lot of myths about day boarding, as in, I know it might be out of personal experiences or bad word of mouth publicity, or I want you to, tell our listeners, tell our viewers something that you've heard personally, like at least 2 or 3 myths,
Okay.
which is actually a myth. I want you to be the myth buster today for
Okay.
these, please.
Okay, so couple of things that I face, I mean, I have seen over all these years. We human, we take ourselves so seriously that normally, unknowingly even, we put the most important things on ourselves. Like everything is our requirement. So I need to go to the office, my dog needs to go to a daycare. I am traveling, the dog needs to stay with you. So, but it's not. Dogs in wild, neither they need a trainer nor they need a day boarding, correct? So when we are living in a society and we want our dog to fall in that societal structure, then we need to guide them through. Like we need to put a pattern and to show them that what way we can how to do this. So let's say you have a dog, you love the dog your way, and you are traveling. Then you do your research and you find out a place you think like it will suit you. Price wise, everything, Google review, all good, or word of mouth, whatever, and you put your dog there. The dog has got no clue. He didn't know, he doesn't know, he cannot feel what kind of research you have done. What is this place? Why is he there? He doesn't know the dogs, he doesn't know the people. So it's a completely very stressful situation for them. The dog can get into depression. The dog goes out of food, like stop eating. Very stressed, scared, fearful, can snap at other dogs. So the dogs who are coming to us in a regular basis, let's say twice a week, thrice a week, 5 times a week, because the mom or the dad is working, etc., we never have any problem with them. Never. So we tell people, so tell the parents when they come the first time that it's not a big deal. We go to a coffee shop, we go to McDonald's, we spend hundreds of dirhams over there. So sending a dog, you do your research properly. Google review is okay, but again, in the Google review, I have some question marks. Why? Because I have seen places who has opened up for 6 months, they have like 300 Google reviews. We have opened for 7 years, 8+ years. We have probably not even 200 Google reviews. So organic Google reviews is something and inorganic is something else. So I would trust more of a word of mouth. That's my opinion. If I go to a beauty parlor, I mostly like to know from my friends.
Absolutely.
So you do a research for yourself and then start sending your dogs there from the very beginning. First start couple of hours, then daycare, then the boarding gradually. So the dog will know that I am going to go back home. You know, this pattern, what Buddha tells you, that this pattern is important. The dog is coming, staying, and going back home.
Yes.
Once that stress is gone from the head, that I'm going to go back to my mom, to my dad, then there is no stress.
No stress for the
Nothing,
animal.
nothing. So this is one thing that people think, that, you know, I love my dog, so the dog stays with me always. No, the dog needs to go out. This daycare that enhances their confidence level, it helps them to address the separation anxiety. I'm sure Balram has faced that also during the COVID time. I'm sure Balram faced lots of dogs, they are coming with separation anxiety, because during COVID time, the human were staying at home.
Yes.
They stopped sending to the dogs outside anywhere. And after COVID, when things started opening up, they started going to office. And the dogs is completely has lost the pattern is messed up. You are sending you are keeping the dog at home, leaving the house. I have incidents where the dog threw themselves on the door, so stressed up. So you cannot talk to a dog and tell them that, you know, I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
They don't understand that.
Then you can't speak to them.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we need to think in that way, that you know, I mean, we need to understand how the animal world, there comes.
I wanted to ask you always that, you know, I always feel that you as a professional, you speak to animals. More than speaking, you do understand what they're thinking. You know, as in that's why, you know, I jokingly call you Dr. Doolittle at times, or, you know, a pet whisperer at times, because you can read it. So when we're talking about day boarding, as in, can you take me through what's the animal going through when they're actually guided into a place which is not their own, by their own parent? Is it scary? It is, oh wow, let me explore? Or is it, where am I going? Or, you know, what is the stage that animal is at that time?
See, number one myth, which is now everybody, actually, dog industry is promoting it, but it is an absolute myth that dogs are social animals. They are absolutely not social animals. They are pack animals, right? So now it is our lifestyle requirement that, you know, we'll have to travel. We'll have to go XYZ. We'll have to go to work and all those things. So now, in this scenarios where you take the option of sending the dog to a daycare or a boarding center, the initial few days is very stressful for the dog.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and that's where professional people like who run the facility, who know, and it's, see, this, I would say, in this work or this field which we are in, more than the knowledge which we read and which we kind of understand, it is more about how much experience you have handling these dogs. Like the amount of experience she has boarding dogs for so long, she haven't seen all cases of temperament scenarios and everything, right? So based on that knowledge, is how you basically guide the dog into that facility. But the first few days is naturally stressful. It takes time for them to settle in. Okay. The human is needed to settle in. That's where what people commonly do a mistake is they want once in a year they travel. They board the dog once in a year. So yes, the dog becomes okay after a period of time, but that first 1 week when he goes into the boarding place, it is really stressful for them. Yeah.
So that means that, for example, if I have a dog and I'm taking that dog to a boarding place more frequently for lesser number of days, does that make the animal a little more comfortable?
Yes, when you frequently start, like once the dog knows, oh, this is a place where I go, they that pattern is installed in him. This is a place where I go. This is what I to expect. These are the dogs there. These are the things happening there. They get used to that pattern.
And as Romy rightly you said that, you know, once the pet has this notion in mind that,
I'm
oh,
going to
I'm
go
just
back
here,
home.
yes, it's just like a vacation for me.
And we have seen that 3 is a magical number. The dog comes the first day, let's say for the assessment, it's the most stressful experience for them. They don't know why they are here, what are they doing, what is these people doing,
And
what is
who
this
are
dog-
these people?
who
Yeah.
are these people, what is this place. Then the second day, it's like, okay, I have been here before. Then the third day, you know, very common thing that happens is when some dogs who are actually sensitive, When they first starts coming, they refuse to share the water bowl with the other dogs. So the bowls are everywhere with food, but they refuse to share the bowl with others.
Okay.
We know the dog so we give them water separate. We separate the dog, we give them. So the first the new dogs comes, we take them separately to give them water. So we know that the dog has adopted the place, I would say, or settled in the place when they starts first sharing the water bowl
Oh,
with his
wow.
other friends.
And this happens at the third visit.
Third, fourth
Fourth
visit
visit.
max. So
Okay.
third, we have seen third is a very magical number that it happens. And if, even we tell the parents also, we have pick and drop services. It's like school bus. We pick up the dog. So we tell the parents that listen, first couple of times you will see the dog will go back home and will drink water like crazy.
Yeah, because
Don't
it's not had.
we have received so many times where there are not any water, my dog is drinking like gallons. So now before even they experience that, I tell them, we tell them beforehand that you will see this pattern that he will or she will go back home and will drink lots of water, but after 1, 2, 3, 4 days you will see this is not there.
Yes.
So that means the dog has adopted the place, the dog is settled now and he is confident enough. So yeah.
After that, the human has separation anxiety.
Yeah, true.
A lot of
The
people.
dog is okay.
Yeah. So see, the thing is, what people think is that you have sent the dog to a facility. The dog is staying there. After that, after a few days, dog will be sitting by the window expecting when the human will come back. Come on, dog. See, after 3 days, dog is happy being part of this routine. It's not that he has forgotten the humans or his pack. That's why we need to think different from the animal's point of view. Animal is happy in the pattern which he has newly found. He's happy doing that. He's not sitting there looking at the windows when my owners will come back.
I will tell you a very
Emotions.
interesting.
Emotions.
I
Yeah.
will tell you a very interesting thing. When the dog starts staying to us, let's say first time a dog came, okay. As Buddha said, the first couple of days is very stressful. Then they settle down because they are animals. They have a extreme survival thing in them.
Yes.
So the first day, sitting by the door, one waiting for the owner to come pick up. The next day, they start sniffing around a little bit. The third day, you will see that they have started exploring. So we have a process of weight checking for the long-term dog boarders. So when they check in, we check weight, and every week we update the parents, and we have a feeding chart as well. Now, it's a very interesting pattern that dog who are little bit fussy about food or because of stress not eating enough, they start losing weight. The first week they will lose weight, the second week they will lose weight. From the third week, the weight stabilized and then it starts gaining weight and then again stabilize in his norm. So when we have dogs who are staying with us for let's say for a month or one, we never have a problem that the dog has lost lots of weight, all of that. We have this kind of problem when the dog is checking out in 15 days or 20 days because they didn't even reach that point where they have stabilized and will start gaining again. You understand what I'm saying? So there is a very typical pattern of their body also to adopt the whole thing, the new environment, then started eating in a normal way, all of that.
I think that's too much of myth busting, rather. I would say I've gained a lot of info about this. Romy, I would say thank you once again for your precious time
Thank
and
you
all
very
this
much.
knowledge that you're sharing with me and our viewers as well. Buddha, I would say, I love the way this two-part competition, as you just said, it's working together, hand in glove, just for one bigger motive, which is the love for animals. I'm sure our viewers would definitely agree to it that the people who have pets, they have it as priority number one. The love, the care, the passion, that's number one for them. And that's exactly what you guys share.
I have a problem. This word called competition. I think that brings a very
Yeah, me
negative
too,
sense
Yeah,
me
into
too.
it.
exactly.
See, this is we have my work, she has her work. World is big enough to survive for everybody. Why do
Absolutely.
you
As
want
they
to?
And
say,
we
the
need each
pie.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
We
course.
all need
need
each
each
other.
other. Yeah.
Now, when you explained both these sides of the story, I think you or more people should be joining hands together and working towards this awesome cause. I think that clears a lot of air between a lot of entrepreneurs who are looking to start up with this, all the pet parents who would come to either of you for any of their needs. So was great. As in, this is the kind of conversations we want to have in our
I
in our
enjoyed
podcast.
fully.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you would also have enjoyed every bit of it, got a lot of info, got a lot of new insights, and definitely a lot of myths that you might have in your mind would have been busted. Thank you. Stay in touch with us. If you like this video, make sure that you click the like button. And if you are watching us for the first time ever, please make sure you subscribe and keep watching us. Every Friday. We here with a new topic, with a new guest, and loads more information for your loved pets. So until next time, thank you so much. Have a wonderful relationship with your pet. You are on Podcast by Buddha. Thank you.